Starting tonight, D.C. is fully reopened. After more than a year, the city has lifted all of its safety restrictions, meaning you can finally go to some of your favorite bars and nightclubs like you did before the pandemic started.
Homie look like a fat Urkel. But yeah, man, what could go wrong? D.C. opening back up. Businesses getting to make money after, having been handcuffed for such a long time. Full capacity. People get to come out and have fun. What could go wrong?
We've lasted this long, and we're really happy to be back.
It's like the first day of opening a business. At the Green Zone in Adams Morgan, owner Chris Franke and his team have been busy preparing to let customers back in.
We're really excited. It's a bit overwhelming. It feels like everything's come at once, but, we're really embracing it. We look forward to getting back to the way it was.
For more than a year, this Middle Eastern cocktail bar has been operating on reservations for outdoor seating and delivery. But as of Friday, D.C. has fully reopened. The city lifted all capacity limits and requirements on contact tracing and reservations.
Now that we can have all of that again, we're going to be learning how to reconcile those two business models with each other and combine them into one model.
Nightclubs and other entertainment venues are also back. Franke says he is kicking off with the return of the Friday night DJ playing Arabic music.
It's really bustling. It's hard to walk on the sidewalk. There's so many people. So we're really happy to have that back.
Darren Norris of Shibuya Eatery says he's glad to see his neighborhood coming back to life. He's noticing people are wanting more value for their dollar. Meaning as D.C. reopens, businesses need to step up.
There's a lot of competition that's been eliminated through the pandemic, so there's not as many places around, and I think we're all vying for those dollars out there, those guests that they were discerning a little bit more, I think, now.
And here at Adams Morgan, you get that sense that people are wanting to come out once again. Keep in mind, though, even though D.C. has lifted the restrictions, businesses still have the authority to implement their own safety protocols. Reporting in Northwest, Matthew Torres, WUSA 9.
After a viral video caught a bouncer at a D.C. sports bar dragging a 22-year-old black woman down the stairs from the second floor. Nelly's Sports Bar in Shaw just announced it has terminated the independent security vendor that was working the bar during Capitol Pride Week. Protesters gathered outside the bar Sunday, and that's where we spoke to Keisha Young. She's the woman who was dragged down the stairs. She said she'd done nothing to deserve that kind of rough treatment.
You notice they gave you the race of the woman immediately who was dragged down the steps. They didn't give you the race of the guy who dragged her down the steps or all the security guards who on duty in that. This is an LGBT sports bar. I almost went in there by accident one time because I saw a lot of people watching the game, and I was like, because they have a deck and you could walk by. This is about maybe like 10 years ago, maybe. I'm walking down the street because, I used to frequent. This is an area where it's not DuPont Circle. The area where that's like fully LGBT is like 10 blocks west and then like 5 more blocks north. Nice south. But this area, this is the only bar like that in here. Everything else is for, I guess, cis or whatever. But I see a bunch of people up there. Then I noticed where all the women at. It was only men, and they were mostly white. And I was like, man, that looks strange. I ain't going in there. Then I found out that, was what the deal was with it. And, it's right there. It's right there. It's a stone's throw from Howard University. It's right there. Like, this is a major area in DC. This is not like, this is it. This is where it be popping at. 14th Street, the other neighborhood that was featured in the previous stories, Adams Morgan, all this area is popping. It's gotten a lot of sketchy over there lately. Really sketchy over there. Like, shootings and everything. You didn't used to have that stuff back in the day. When I was a teenager and a young man, I hung out there a lot on the weekends. Didn't have a lot of this stuff. Some of it, you had some, but not nothing the way you would expect it. It would be unexpected if it happened. Now you expect it. So just to give you a little backdrop. But now they're protesting. There's protests outside of this place. This place is being boycotted by black people. A gay bar. A gay sports bar is being boycotted because a black security guard dragged a black woman down the steps because he thought she was sneaking a bottle in. And it was the wrong woman. It was actually another woman that snuck the bottle in. I think they just was like, hey, her, and they pointed in that direction, and he just grabbed the first one he saw. And then probably when he said something to her, she probably got bucked, and yada, yada, yada. One thing led to another. This is a crazy story. Buckle your seatbelts.
Second floor. Nellie's Sports Bar in Shaw just announced it has terminated the independent security vendor that was working the bar during Capitol Pride Week. Protesters gathered outside the bar Sunday, and that's where we spoke to Keisha Young. She's the woman who was dragged down the stairs. She said she'd done nothing to deserve that kind of rough treatment.
It was an altercation in there. They was trying to get some other people out because somebody else brought a bottle in there. Somehow I got mixed up in the altercation because I looked like somebody else, and I got hit and dragged down the steps.
The bar is apologizing and planning to stay closed for the rest of the week to focus on creating a safe environment for everyone.
They're closing for the rest of the week because this happened. And the girls, her people are planning to sue. I get that. But they're protesting. They protested in front of the home of the owner. They found out where the owner of the sports bar lived and went in front of his home and protested. And got mad because he called the police. And like tried to say it was something racial that the police was over there trying to protect this guy's home. Well, he had a mob of rowdy protesters outside his house at nighttime. They tried to act like it was some kind of racist thing against them that the police was out there. Now it's racist when a black security guard bounces a sister out of a club. That's national news now. Welcome to Biden's America. This guy, Boy Kevin, he says, hey everyone, last Saturday night, a black woman named Keisha was assaulted by a security guard at a gay sports bar, Nellie's in D.C. Please donate to her GoFundMe to help her cover medical and legal expenses. Okay. All right. $14,433. Cute sister. She cute. Nice teeth. You know, nice smile. She wants $75,000. Hey, listen, man. Listen, man. Get your money, sister. Get your money. I ain't mad at you. She said, I need $75,000. She got 14 already. I don't know, man. This woman gave $50. She says, that video was disgusting. And I'm so proud of you for speaking out and demanding your respect. They ought to be ashamed. Bless you, little sis. Keep shining. You'll get through this. These are the same people that be fighting at amusement parks and whatnot. Oh, my God. Remember when Nellie's flew a Blue Lives Matter flag in support of police brutality? They probably flew a Blue Lives Matter flag so the police would know that, look, man, it's getting sketchy down this part of town, man. It's okay to hang out around here, cops. If you want to look for a place to sit your car, you can sit your car right in front of this club. This person donated $100. Black women deserve better. Keisha will get better. I hope this helps you towards getting you what you deserve, what our women deserve. LGBTQ spaces should be safe spaces, no exceptions. Wishing you a speedy recovery. Now, is this really? Are black people really not safe in LGBTQ spaces now? Because this sister, one sister snuck in a bottle into a bar, which is, you can't do that. The bouncer grabbed the wrong girl. And now LGBTQ spaces are not safe for black people. Nelly's Sports Bar in D.C. says it has terminated its independent security vendor after a video showed a security guard dragging a black woman down the stairs. So they didn't just terminate the security guard. They cut ties with the vendor. So here's a statement from Nelly's Sports Bar. Nelly's Sports Bar has terminated with immediate effect the independent security vendor hired to protect our guests during Pride Week. Our investigation into the matter is ongoing, and we will cooperate with any law enforcement investigation. However, we do not need to wait for the investigation's conclusion before we take decisive action. We offer a heartfelt apology to all who witnessed. So now they gotta apologize to people for witnessing a girl get bounced out of a club. Which, if you listen, I frequented this area, not that bar. Okay, I know y'all got your jokes and everything. All up and down 14th Street, Adams Morgan. I used to go to Republic Gardens. Anybody from DC know that? This is not the 90s. Republic Gardens. You had the Kaffa House where you smoke weed. You can smoke all the weed you want in the Kaffa House. Then up Adams Morgan, all them bars. All the bars up Adams Morgan. Bukum, Heaven and Hell, all the different ones. You know, you got the Tamaris. Anybody from DC know what I'm talking about? Back in the 90s and the early 2000s. Yeah, man. Look. Seeing a sister get bounced out of a club, it happen all the time, man. Now they gotta apologize to you for witnessing that. Wow. Welcome to Biden's America. We offer a heartfelt apology to all who witnessed the horrific events of this past weekend. No matter what behavior occurred prior, nothing warrants mistreating and disrespecting one of our guests. What we can say is we have heard the concerns of the Black, indigenous people of color. I'm assuming that's what BIPOC stands for. What we can say is we have heard the concerns of the BIPOC, the BIPOC, and LGBTQ communities. Jesus Christ. Nelly's will be closed this week as we evaluate this regrettable situation. So this is Pride Month. These black folk have hijacked Pride Month and made it about them. Racism. Because a black security guard dragged a black woman down the steps at a gay club. They completely hijacked. They're protesting. They're probably protesting tonight. Wow. These people fight at malls. They get bounced out of malls by security guards. They get bounced out of amusement parks by security guards. Restaurants. They fight everywhere. But during these people's month, what if, well, gay people did kind of try to hijack Black History Month, and they did hijack, well, they founded Black Lives Matter. The LGBT community founded Black Lives Matter, so I can't say they hijacked it, they founded it. This is so confusing, man. Let me just continue. In the interim, we will use the time to listen and understand what more we can do to create the safe and friendly atmosphere our guests have come to expect from Nelly's Sports Bar over the past 14 years. I can tell you right now, these gay white liberals in D.C., the tax base, I mean, these people pay taxes. These people live in, $400,000, $500,000 condos, man. These people pay a lot to live here, man. They ride around on bikes and stuff because, they woke green and whatnot. They got a lot of money. And they like having their little space where they don't have to worry about all this BIPOC crap. All this crap. They don't have to worry about that. They don't have this stuff there. These nasty incidents. I know those liberal LGBT people in DC are rolling their eyes. They're groaning like, oh my God. And that's what they get, because they were some of the wokest people. I'm talking about. People were walking up on me like saying, I'm sorry after George Floyd happened. I'm not sorry for, what are you talking about? Like, people were they just assume that you're like a bleeding heart Democrat if you're black. People like these yeah. They getting what they deserve. They voted for this. That's what they get. I hope they get tons more of it. I actually hope that now Nelly's becomes like a bar where like BIPOC, I think I'm gonna use that, BIPOC people start frequenting. All the BIPOC people start, don't boycott this. No, that's what they want you to do, y'all. If you boycott, they win. No, start going down there. Don't let them get you with the Jedi mind trick, BIPOCs. They want you to boycott. They want you to say we not going there. Go down there every day and party with them and bring your culture and your ways, your values down there. Because they voted for it. This one says, excuse me, so no black men came to the aid of this lady? Did you not see the LGBT black guy attack the security guard? This is the stuff I hate. A literal LGBT black guy ran up and mauled the security guard while he was dragging her down the steps. That's like half of the video. And they write stuff like this. I guess they mean, why didn't a straight? Well, a straight guy was dragging her down the steps. But I don't know. It probably wasn't no straight guys in. It's a gay bar. It happened inside the gay bar, and they're wondering why no straight black guys jumped. And one thing Nelly's is going to learn is that this crowd is hard to please, man. It's a tough crowd to please, man. All the apologies bending over backwards. I don't know, man. There's nothing you can do. You gonna bend over backwards till you start rolling down the hill. You better be double jointed, cause there's no that you can't please these people. They don't want an apology. They want your soul. This guy says, Nelly's has the audacity to have Black Lives Matter sign in their window. Nelly's is racist as F. Protest outside Nelly's Sports Bar after pulling black woman down the stairs by her hair. They act like the club pulled her down. One of the security guards said they got a new vendor specifically for Gay Pride Week. I thought it was Pride Month, whatever. Specifically for this week. They went they got more. They got another vendor who does security because they knew they were gonna have bigger crowds, so they needed more security. One of those guys who was black made a mistake and grabbed the wrong sister. And it looked bad. And it was rough. But I promise you it happens all the time. To all groups of people. It's called bouncing. That's what they call them, bouncers, because they bounce you out. They literally bounce you out the club. That's where the name comes from. And they're trying to act like this is a race issue. Wow. And it's a white man doing that. The only person that should be mad right now is that woman who's asking for $75,000 in her GoFundMe. She's the only one should be upset.
Happened in this bar tonight that got everyone out here? Well, last night we had a young black lady that was in the bar. It's alleged that she had an outside bottle, but let me preface that with saying I don't give a fuck what she brought from the outside. Wasn't no reason for security to be dragging her down these steps the way they was dragging her down these steps and beating her. And shout out to the young man who came at the end and jumped on the motherfucker back and started wailing on his ass. He needed somebody to beat his ass, just like all these cops need somebody to beat their ass. And just like any motherfucker who decides that they gonna break the line and go inside of Nelly, these motherfuckers have the audacity to even have Black Lives Matter on their window. Let's see that. Wow, they got it. After all of
Let me just say that means nothing. Every business in DC has Black Lives Matter. I mean, and when I say every one of them, I mean all of them. All of them have Black Lives Matter in the window. Every white home has a Black Lives Matter flag in the window or in the yard. The only place you won't see Black Lives Matter is where black people live at. But these businesses down here are open. This area is actually a lot of Ethiopian businesses down here. This is actually called Little Ethiopia, where this little section of this strip, U Street, this little section of this U Street strip, it's called Little Ethiopia. A lot of Ethiopian restaurants down there. A lot of them. A lot of them. A lot of Middle Eastern people own businesses down there. A lot of white people own businesses down there. Historically black neighborhood though. Like when I lived around there in the early 90s, it was probably a 90% black neighborhood, 95% black neighborhood. And like, I'm not joking, like literally. Over the years, been gentrified. Now I would say 50 to 40% black neighborhood. But the Black Lives Matter sign, when like, that's just like me. That's like having an open close sign. Like everybody does that in DC.
After all of the anti-blackness that they have spewed over the years, because Nelly is known for being an anti-black racist. Racist is You're saying it's known before today? It's known before today? You can smell the slavery in the air when you walk in there. Horrible. It's worse than walking in the fucking Cracker Barrel. The movement has been commodified so much that companies like Nelly can put Black Lives Matter on the window, take our money,
Okay, here goes a guy asking a legitimate question. Let's see how this works out for him. This guy, the Chad, says, that security guard most definitely was out of line. But can I ask why is Nelly's racist if the security guard is black? And someone posted an article where Nelly had to apologize last year for displaying a blue line police flag. So they had 3 flags. They had the American flag. I'm surprised they didn't have to apologize for displaying the American flag. I think if they wouldn't have had the blue line flag up there, they would have had to apologize for the American flag. They would have found something. That's what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. They would have found something to be mad about. So since they had, it would have just descending order of being offended. So I guess the blue line flag trumps the American flag. So this person responds, says the woman that was attacked by security apparently wasn't even the person they were actually looking for. Okay, people make mistakes. Nobody should be more understanding of that than the people of the Sun. Jesus Christ. Talk about making mistakes. This guy says, I don't care what Keisha was or was not doing at the top of those stairs. No man in that bar would have dragged a white woman by her hair down a staircase. You want to bet? Sub to my channel, bro. I do stories all the time. This whole thing, y'all think white women got some special treatment, or that like black men or black women hesitate to bring violence or to assault white women? Where are y'all getting that from? Like, that must be just some low self-esteem stuff, because a lot of this is low self-esteem. You know, low self-worth. They don't believe that they're worth, or they don't believe in themselves. They think it's still like 1860. White women are in constant danger. I do stories all the time where like old white women, grandmas are walking down the street in New York or somewhere like that, and a brother just comes up and socks them and just casually walks off. I mean, and not like, I mean, cleans their clock. Hit one if you've seen some of the videos I've done. Clean, I mean, a beat. I do videos like that all the time. White women are, where do they get this? This is Howard's right down there, and a lot of Howard kids hang out there. They must be getting this from Howard. They not getting this from the hood boogers. The hood boogers. Who saw the story I did the other day? Right down the street from this, Logan's Circle. Right down the street from this, with this, the white woman got in an argument with the brother over the scooter. The black guy parked the scooter right in front of their house and just laid it on the ground, and they just asked him, could he, like, you know, park it right? So he shot her and her 4-year-old son right there on the spot. Who remembers that story from about a month ago? Where do they get this stuff from? That like somehow white women are exempt from getting assaulted or anywhere by civilians, by police officers, by security guards. White women get brutalized. Anyway, he says, I don't care what Keisha was or was not doing at the top of those stairs. No man in that bar would have dragged a white woman by her hair down the staircase, and no man would be trying to justify it if she was white. If you're defending a bar with a well-documented history of anti-blackness over a brutalized black woman because she may not have been behaving to your liking or approval, We don't have anything to discuss. Block me. All right, you blocked it. But let me finish reading your comment. This woman says, I'm not amplifying that video of security dragging a black woman down a flight of steps for obvious reasons, but I'll say this much. I will not be giving Nellies in D.C. a single cent until they establish full and clear accountability for this. An apology is not enough. Oh, so asking for accountability is... Oh. So it's okay to ask people to be accountable for their actions. I'll make a mental note of that. We'll get back to that sometime in the future. I want everybody in the chat, remember, it's okay to ask for accountability. Just remember that. Now they whining about the police responding to their protest. A D.C. Fraternal Order of Police board member just assaulted multiple protesters, and then MPD proceeded to violently arrest 2 protesters. Multiple witnesses pointed out that the board member had assaulted protesters and MPD did nothing. It's never actually about the law. Racism is perpetuated by some black accomplices. White slave owners used blacks to further their enslavement by elevating house N-words to rule over field hands. If you don't know, now you know. You think you guys might be taking this a little bit too far, man? Here goes this guy to Chad again. So he asked that guy, did Nelly's owners order the security guard to do this? Or was this done by his own free will? Let's see. I'd be surprised if anybody answers that. Okay, Thomas answered. Okay, go ahead, Thomas. He says, that might be otherwise relevant, but he works for Nelly's. Therefore, he furthers their objectives and aims without specific instructions because he knows their sentiments towards people of color who are the patrons. So it's a conspiracy. So this guy who's a vendor who they just hired this week, they just hired his company this week, and he don't know anything. He just go wherever this company sends him. They say, look, we got a job here at this bar, at a sports bar. We got a job at a hookah bar. And then you go there. They just send the security guard their vendor. So that guy knows that when he got there, they were like, look, man, we don't like black people. We need you to, drag a sister down the steps tonight. Be rough with the blacks that come in here. He's like, all right, Captain. Jesus Christ. This one says, bro, you make no sense. Whole bunch of hypotheses with zero facts. If this was the security's free will, why are y'all blaming the establishment? If it's racist, I'm pretty sure black people wouldn't be going there. Sounds reasonable. This woman says, why does the security guard think it's okay to drag a woman out of a bar downstairs by her hair because they suspected she brought in her own drink? They clearly thought their employer wouldn't fire them over this. There must be a reason. So, okay, you see the logic? So the security guard did something violent or did something, above board. And the logic is that he clearly thought he wouldn't be punished for it. And they don't get how what they actually did to the world by not punishing criminals and lionizing and canonizing and giving sainthood to criminals. Could actually lead. But if I were to say that to her, she would say, you're black, aren't you? She would call me a sellout or a coon or something. Not to my face. I'm talking about if I was to say this on Twitter. She would call me a coon or a sellout. But she can clearly see that, okay, in their world, Nelly's this racist place that gives black security guards carte blanche to drag black women down steps. And that's the reason he did it, because he thought that, because that's their policy at Nelly. That's what they do. Even though, if I was to ask her for another video of a black woman being beat up by security, or another police report, I'm sure they will call me a coon. Chad says, security guards step out of line constantly. It's not something new. Y'all are just trying to stir up the pot when it has nothing to do with racism and more about a male security guard acting out of his own free will. And here she comes again. Or perhaps we want to see accountability. There go that word again. And address whatever factoring causes led to this point, so it can be prevented in the future. Oh, God. So now we got to make sure that no black woman ever gets bounced out of a club again. Oh, my God. This is dangerous, because you see what they've done. They want no bad interactions between black people and cops, regardless of what the cop does, regardless of what the suspect does. Even though it's 1 million cops in the United States, literally 1 million, and it's that many thugs that are black in this country, they don't want ever there to be a bad situation. That's why BLM, we won't stop protesting until we make sure that never happens again. And look how they've destroyed our country with that. Now they're going to destroy our nightlife. Look, watch how they destroy our nightlife. This is going to destroy nightlife countrywide. If they try to make sure that no other black woman ever gets bounced up out of a club. This is going to literally destroy nightlife in America. Because that's one of the groups. You have two groups that are at the top of causing problems at nightclubs. Men of the Sun, and a close second are women of the Sun. So that's the list. And you know I'm right. That's the list. There's nobody else on the list. Everybody else, their incidents are negligible. So now we have to make sure that that never happens again. And remember, it doesn't matter what she did. Regardless of what she did. So what? What she did doesn't matter. Wow.